doesn't have to lift a pin
to correct you.
His place is there, and he is not an innocent person.
It's true.
He has his ways. So we are saying that parents who are watching or listening right now, change your strategy. That's what we're saying. Change your strategy. Because at the end of the day, women will say, I suffered over this child.
And this child
now loves, especially single parents who are mothers. When you introduce hardcore dealings with that child, the child will begin to long for the other parent that did not even labor over him or her.
So the first opportunity they
go for
run after.
And in psychology, there is a place of children becoming saturated. Okay, especially when they are always with one parent. They want the other parent. They want. So if your dealing is also pushing that child towards the other parent, then you will lose all your effort on that child. So change your strategy, basically.
And you know, it's quite interesting most times that parents do not necessarily, understand what we're talking about. People do feel again and again that what we're saying is don't correct the child, don't beat your child. No, I have kids and I spank when there is need to spank. But you see, the moment I take anything to spank, they already know, hey, something has gone wrong. Because we do everything that has to do with communication. You will explain what happened.
You know the way
you will write
it
down.
I remember when my mom is beating you, she doesn't beat you. She beats you with words. As in, she's beating you physically, and she's also using words. So you are not just crying from the pain of the pain, you are also being psychologically affected. Some children, they cry much more from the things they say to them than the beating they gave to them. So you are complicating the issue.
And they remember
much more.
What are you talking about?
What you say.
I'm telling you, I remember how I was beating. You think I don't have marks, but I remember. So imagine if it were physical words, if it were words that were spoken. Some kids remember their parents tomorrow for the wrong negative words that they exuded, that they kept telling them. Even when the kid turns out right and successful, they second guess themselves based on the things that had been planted in them when they were children. They actually do feel that, am I really successful? So you see somebody that is obvious to human side as being very successful, but the person still doubts that success because by the measures of the words that were spoken to him or her when he was a child, he did not have the capacity.
Most people who fall into depression today. Now, you remember the story about the celebrity?
Yes,
the issue. If the story turns out to be true, then it could have been an accumulated childhood mental stress. Not now. So a lot of people use, we cover up a lot of things, and you just go into it, and you get to a point where your mental capacity will break down. You can't stretch it for too long a time, and that's why we say, let's fill the emotional bank of children with love. Okay, love doesn't mean you will not correct the child, but fill it up so that it will give them the ability to become resilient in life and move on with life. They accept themselves. Their self-worth is not punctured. Even when it's shaky, they still know that, okay, this was how, like there was a movie I watched of a girl who left home. The mother had died. The father loved her quite well, but she just wanted a different life because she felt she was okay with her father's love. She went in search of love. She found someone else who was physically abusing her, mentally and everything. And she was doing everything to please this guy. At the end of the day,
wasn't enough.
One day she looked into the guy's eyes and said, my father called me a princess. My father did this. My father, this is who I am. Okay, this is not what you say I am. And she packed her bags and left. Now, if she had not been fortified
from home,
she will remain flat on the floor.
No wonder people endure all forms of abuse today. You see, everything about mental health and abuse is linked together, whether you're an adult or whether you're a child. Thank you so much, Auntie Wemi, for being here this morning. It's a full conversation now. We had various calls, but the conversation was much more deeper than picking calls. You can send your comments right after. But don't forget, we want to distinguish between discipline, abuse, and discipline and abuse.
Yes.
We want to find out. And we're going to try to delve into whether beating and all that, whatever pays you, whatever works for you. So let's differentiate between discipline and abuse sometime on the show next week, Wednesday. Big thank you to Auntie Wemi. And of course, the darling, delectable Miriam, who wants to sell Ashwebi to everybody.
Yes, I want to sell Ashwebi, Kampala, fabric, everything. Everybody, but just remember that if you don't shape your child, the outside forces will do that for you. So shape them with love and put God first in everything you do. I leave you into the hands of the Most High God. I am Miriam, but you can call me